let's just take a hypothetical number. You got 10 candidates, okay, for one position. Let's just make it really easy. 10 candidates, one position, and every single one of them graduated from Harvard University. Every single one of them had straight A's. It doesn't matter, let's say that each one had a different field of study. It doesn't matter, but let's say straight A students, Harvard University, brilliant people, and they did not get there because of the quota system, okay? Which is impossible, but just for our argument's sake, we're gonna say that that's the way it was. But in America today, it's not possible to even do that. But we got these 10 individual candidates, okay? So now we would think, okay, that those 10 candidates are in fact exactly the same, but that is never true. And the reason why it's never true is because those 10 people are all going to come from very different backgrounds. Let me give you an example. Let's just say candidate number one. Let's say his dad or her dad was Steve Jobs. Okay? That kid grew up in a privileged background. Okay? Now let's take candidate number two. Let's say candidate number two came from the ghettos of Baltimore. Okay? And in his entire family history in America, his entire family has never once in hundreds of years had $10,000 in their bank account. Now, on the first look, those two candidates look like they were equally qualified because they all wound up with the same qualifications. They all had the same GPAs, the same grade average. Let's say they all worked in the same field. But when we dig deeper into their backgrounds, we realize that one kid was busting his ass trying to achieve those results, whereas the child of Steve Jobs was able to spend every summer in Europe or on some cruise or enjoying life. So in my eyes, when I look at these two candidates, which one has actually worked harder to achieve those goals that we talked about? Well, obviously, the kid from Baltimore is going to be a much, much better entrepreneurial problem solver because he has seen the best and the worst of American society. Whereas, and I don't mean to pick on Steve Jobs, I know he's passed, but I love Steve Jobs, I love Apple, don't get me wrong, but I'm just using this as an example, whereas the child of Steve Jobs never grew up in the ghetto. They don't really fully understand what it's like to have heroin dealers outside their front door and to live through and escape that kind of environment. So when I'm in the White House, I want people around me who know the American society, who know the society from the very top to the very bottom and from side to side. Because after all, if we don't have that knowledge in our decision-making process, then we're obviously going to leave people out because we just are not going to be aware of those people. So that's my answer into the, well, what if everybody's the same? It's not like that. Everyone's not the same. We're always looking for those personal characteristics of achievement, not personal characteristics given by God. We're looking for personal characteristics of achievement that set that person apart. And that's the dividing line. I don't care if you're a female or a male, you're black, you're white, you're Asian, you're Hispanic. None of that makes a bit of difference to me. It's just a talking point. But what a person has done in terms of their achievements and what they've overcome, what they went through to achieve those goals, that speaks to the character and depth of that person's value system.